안녕하세요, 전현우입니다.
안녕하세요, 최경은입니다.
Hi, Hyunwoo here.
Hi, I'm 경은 최.
And you're listening to
Talk to me in Korean.
Yes, many of you have been waiting for this day for a long time. A day where you can see level 10 in our curriculum, published and live, not just coming in the future or being planned. And for the past 10 years, while hearing the intro that you just heard earlier over and over again in the beginning of our audio Korean lessons, some of you might have wondered, when are they going to fully complete their Korean grammar curriculum of 10 levels? And as more time passed without level 10 coming, you might have also wondered, is level 10 ever going to be published? And here it is, finally. 드디어 10번째 레벨 다 만들어서 발행했습니다. 웹사이트 가셔서 공부하시면 됩니다. talktomeinkorean.com. So that was the level 10 announcement part of this video. And if you're also curious about why it took us such a long time, here's the story part of the video. So I'm naturally very interested in language learning in general, and I also enjoyed helping other people learn new things effectively, and not only languages. And in 2004, after I finished my military service and went back to college, I made a lot of friends who came to Korea from other countries. And they had questions about Korea in general, as well as the language itself. And I wanted to help them by answering their questions, but I quickly realized that many of the questions were the same. And there wasn't much information online back then that I could quickly and easily share with my friends. So in order to help them by answering their questions effectively, I started to take pictures and write blog posts. And that's when I started having a serious interest in Korean language education. I had a couple more years left in college, so I focused on enjoying my college life while still thinking about Korean education. And after making and deleting and experimenting with several blog ideas, and also after working with some other language education companies, by the time I was graduating, I decided to start my own brand and start building everything from scratch, because back then, there was no other company in Korea that was teaching Korean online for a global audience. When I started Talk to Me in Korean with my friend Kyungun back in 2009, and believe it or not, we're still good friends, by the way. The only thing we focused on was making great Korean lessons. And we didn't exactly set out to form a community and tell people, hey everyone, come and join this amazing community. But it just naturally happened, I think. Although there was no physical space where people were gathering, we could still feel a sense of belonging and community through comments and messages. A community where people who were using Talk to Me in Korean to learn Korean were sharing ideas and experiences, and people who remembered my bad jokes and some funny moments in our lessons. And having a community of Talk to Me in Korean students and having you guys request lessons, asking us questions and sharing your learning experiences greatly helped us decide what kind of learning materials we need to make. The basic idea of having 10 different levels and 295 lessons was always there. We wanted to have a systematic approach, so we built a curriculum of 10 levels instead of just randomly coming up with lessons on the go or on that day. And we wanted to differentiate our curriculum from TOPIK's 6-level system because, helping learners prepare for the TOPIK test was never our main goal. And our main objective was to just help you learn Korean well from every aspect. So we deliberately chose to have 10 different levels instead of 6. So after figuring out what kind of grammar point will be covered in what lesson, in what level, and in what order, we started actually building lessons. And for the first couple of years of Talk to Me in Korean, Kyungwon and I were basically living off of our personal savings and not making any profit, obviously, because we weren't selling anything to anyone and there was no way for anyone to pay us for anything. Now that I think about it, it was a pretty risky idea. Why did we do that? Don't start a business without a solid business plan, okay? But anyway, we did, and as we were pumping out audio lessons through our podcast and on our website, we started thinking about ways we could do this for a long time. And you know how the story goes. Fortunately, we have been doing this for a long time, for more than a decade now. Can you believe that? And many of you have been with us from the very start. As we were still producing audio lessons and PDF lesson notes for level 1 and 2 and so on, we had more and more confidence in our curriculum because we actually saw you guys improving your Korean skills really solidly using our lessons. So we started publishing our books. There were some hurdles along the way in terms of finding the right publisher and the best way to distribute our books. So things didn't exactly go as smoothly as we had hoped, but we survived, and in 2013, we published our Hangul Master book and our first vocabulary book in 2014, and by 2015, we had the grammar textbooks and workbooks for level 1, 2, and 3. We kept working on our books and workbooks, vocabulary books, phrase books, and other types of reading books as well, and now we have 32 books under the Talk to Me in Korean name. And instead of only making one-off YouTube videos, we also started building online audio and video courses on our website. And from the initial blog setup, we've changed the website to become a more systematic structure where people can sign up to make an account and manage their learning progress. And as of today, we have, thankfully, 700,000 Korean learners signed up on our website. We were very much aware of the high demand for level 10 among advanced learners, but we had to make a lot of decisions in favor of more beginner-friendly and intermediate level materials, books, and courses, while we were still trying to make this company more stable and set on course for long-term growth. We're human beings too, so we like money as well. But we also wanted to continue providing free learning materials for everyone. So when we were not teaching Korean in a YouTube video or a podcast lesson, we were always working hard behind the scenes, trying to figure out how to generate enough revenue while still providing free content for all. And although it's too early for me to say that we are extremely successful, I can at least safely say that we are now able and ready to invest more resources into more advanced materials, developing Talk to Me Korean merch, making mobile apps, TV apps, making new shows, and collaborating with other companies in a bigger scale and all that. We are already going in that direction now, and all of those things will come. So long story short, I am sorry that we were beginners at running a business before, and sorry that we were too busy trying to survive and make the company grow a little more. And now we're happy that we are able to add, finally, level 10 to the Talk to Me in Korean curriculum and make the Talk to Me in Korean Essential Korean curriculum complete. For the past decade or so, we've seen all the major changes and trends in the online Korean education sector, literally firsthand, and I think we understand this sector, and we have really big and ambitious goals and plans for the future. Our main goal, which is to help you learn Korean, learn to speak Korean really well, has never changed and won't change, but I'm excited that we will be able to do that in better and more diverse ways than before from now on. And as for the details, we will make sure to keep you posted, so be sure to stay subscribed to our YouTube channels, social media, and our newsletter. So that's our story of how and why it took us 10 years to complete the production of level 10 lessons for our Essential Korean Courses curriculum. And I would like to say to everyone who has been patiently waiting for the release of level 10, thank you so much for your love and support, and thank you so much for trusting us as your source for Korean education materials. Studying with all of the 10 levels in our Korean grammar curriculum will definitely give you a solid foundation and understanding of the Korean language, and most of the building blocks you will need to speak Korean fluently, but you will certainly need to keep learning, keep working on improving your vocabulary, pronunciation, listening skills, and so on, and to generally become a more fluent speaker of the Korean language, right? So please keep working. I myself also started as an English learner 20-something years ago, and I'm comfortable with English, but I'm still learning. So there's no end, and that's a good thing if you enjoy learning a new language, and especially if you enjoy learning Korean. So thank you so much for spending weeks, months, and years together with us, and we look forward to spending many more years with you and connecting with you as your Korean teachers, fellow language learners, and your Korean friends. Thank you so much for waiting for Level 10. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you soon here on YouTube and in the lessons on our website at talktomeinkorean.com. 감사합니다. 안녕히 계세요.